guys, welcome to my bathroom. In this video, I am going to be talking all about lash extensions. I love this. I love you guys just having a moment. It just is nice. It feels like I'm just sitting down talking to girlfriends, even though I'm sitting down in my bathroom by myself talking to a camera. But lashes. I want to just go over the process of what exactly they are, what it all entails, the cost of everything, the upkeep, and then what I'm most excited about is I actually brought my phone along to my most recent lash appointment and I filmed a good portion of it, and I kind of interviewed or talked to my lash queen, I call her. Her name is Steph. And I asked her a bunch of your questions that you guys often send me on Instagram. So I got a lot of your frequently asked questions answered. I'm gonna talk to you about my experience with them, pros and cons, how I keep them clean, how I maintain them. This is something that I have been getting questions about ever since I got them on again for the second time. Had them on the first time for a few months. I was mom's friend's daughter. She was going through training and she needed a model to practice on, and I really liked having them. And I don't remember why I stopped. I think I just wanted to give my lashes a break, but I got them on again last June, a month before Bentley was born. I thought it would just make life a little bit simpler for me with having a newborn. We had our wedding coming up and we had a vacation plan, so I just thought it would be nice to just have lashes. A new mom, you know, you're sleep deprived and sometimes you don't always have the time to feel put together and feel pretty and do your makeup. And for me, getting ready, getting a shower, putting on makeup, it's something that's important, and it's something I prioritize every day. It just makes me feel better. And I knew that if I at least had some lashes done, that would be half the battle. I'm very comfortable leaving the house without makeup. Even if my skin is not looking amazing, I've never been somebody that has to put foundation on before I leave the house. But mascara has always been a must. I never could leave the house without a little bit of mascara. Having that little lift with my lashes, it just opens my eyes, makes me feel awake, and makes me feel somewhat human. So if I'm gonna do anything to my face, anything to alter my appearance, it would definitely be lash extensions. So got them on in June. It was about a 2-hour appointment, and I believe I paid $175. It was actually a promotion. I think it normally cost at my place $250 for a full set. There's different styles. The style that I wanted, which was more like voluminous and more lashes than just a natural set, was $250, and they were running a summer promotion. So I paid $175, one-time charge, and then you go for your fills, much like you would when you have acrylic nails on. And I was going every 2 weeks for a fill. It costs $50. You can go every week, it costs less. You can go every 3 weeks, every month, it would cost more. Obviously, the longer you go, the more lashes you're gonna need in between, so the more time and then the more money. So for me, $50 every 2 weeks, about $100 a month for my lashes is where I was at. Depending on where you live, depending on lash specialist that's doing your lashes, there are gonna be differences in prices, but I just wanna give you kind of like a general ballpark of what I was paying. And I initially had classic lashes. At the time, I didn't know the difference. I didn't know there was another option. I was just getting lash extensions, meaning one tiny little lash is connected to your natural lash with adhesive. I love them. I loved having them. It made a world of a difference. Other than my wedding day and maybe like 1 or 2 other days in between, for literally almost the last year, I haven't put a stitch of eye makeup on my eyes. And it's funny, I often get asked what I'm wearing on my eyes, and it's always nothing, just lash extensions. So from the perspective of saving me time in the morning and still feeling very pretty, it's been amazing. That is so worth it. Like alone, that's so worth it. Now let's fast forward to what I have on my eyelashes now, which is volume lashes. And Steph is gonna go more in depth and give you more of an explanation in the video, but essentially, instead of attaching one single lash to one natural lash, she is attaching a fan of lashes to one natural lash. Because there's more lashes on one natural lash, the fan of lashes, the volume lashes, are much lighter and wispier and thinner almost. And they're so tiny. I'm gonna get up close. As I've been taking care of my lashes and I comb them and I lose some, I've been kind of saving them so you guys could see what they look like up close. This is one single lash. You can see these are little fans, and here is another fan. And again, you can see the tiny little baby lash and then how they all fan out. And you can see just how many is in this fan. All of those attached to that one little baby lash there at the end. It's pretty amazing. So I really like it from that perspective because the volume lashes, I find the retention, how long they stay on my lashes in between needing fills, is so much longer, like almost triple the amount of time that I would go with a classic lash refill. The classic lash extensions themselves are a little bit thicker, a little bit darker, and with the volume and the classic, you have different lengths, obviously. When I was getting the classic lashes, I was just about getting the longest length. I think the shortest is like 10 or 11 and the longest is 15, and I was getting like a 15. The thing with classic lashes is when you lose your lash, when your natural lash falls out, you lose the lash extension, obviously. So in time, as you're losing lashes, which I'm gonna talk about that in a second, you can start to see the spaces in between and you can start to notice where you're in need of another fill. With volume lashes, because there's little fans like fanning out everywhere, if you lose one of your natural lashes, you're not gonna notice that little gap because of the other fans surrounding it. I hope that makes sense. With the classic lashes, I was going every 2 weeks. With the volume lashes, I go every 3 weeks, but I'm gonna insert a picture of my lashes right here. This was me right before I went into my 3-week appointment to have them filled, and as you can see from the picture, they are beautiful. I easily could have went 1 more week and been completely comfortable, but obviously I like them really full. But a lot of women, I'm sure, could go a whole month. But essentially, I'm going every 3 weeks, but it turns out to be I'm paying once a month for my lash extensions. The cost is a little bit higher, so it's $110 when I'm going for the volume lashes, but again, I was paying $50 every 2 weeks, so I'm only paying $10 more a month for the volume lashes, and I like them so much better because when I am due for a fill, it's not obvious that I'm due for a fill. Whereas with my classic lashes, there would be times where I would there was actually a time when they got so bad that I like put strip lashes on, which I do not recommend doing that because the adhesive, it was just a mess. But bottom line, I was desperate for like volume because when they're not there, you miss them and you feel naked. So I love the volume lash extensions. Steph is gonna talk more about them in the video, but if you can find somebody that's reputable and that knows what they're doing with volume lashes, it's seriously an art. It's a very fine craft, and not everyone that does classic lashes is trained in volume lashes, but if you can find someone as good as my girl, then I would definitely recommend them. I just feel like they look a lot better. Not that the classics look bad, but they're just fuller, they're lighter, and not that I felt the classic lashes or felt them being heavy on my eyes, but I can just, even when I just, run my fingers through them, they just feel a lot lighter. So I love having volume. I can't understand why anyone wouldn't want volume if you've experienced it and why you'd go back to classic, but I know some people prefer the classic, which is fine, but if you can experience volume lashes, I'm pretty confident that you're not ever gonna wanna go back to classic. So let's talk about losing your lashes, because when I got lashes, I was always so paranoid about touching them or rubbing them or getting them wet and being really gentle with them. I would comb them like really softly because I thought any little like touch would just pull them out. Your lash extensions don't pull out. They don't just come out from combing them. What I learned through this process is your lashes go through a very similar cycle as your hair. It grows, it falls out, it grows new, and your lashes do the same thing. So in time, your lashes are gonna fall out so that new lashes can grow, and when those fall out, obviously your lash extension is attached to that. So don't be concerned if you start to see a lash here and there falling out, or you're combing them and it's falling out. Pretty safe to assume that it's due to fall out. Like that's your lash shedding so that a new lash could come through. And through the process, especially in the beginning, my concern was always, am I gonna run out of lashes for them to attach lash extensions on? And I would always ask that, like all paranoid in my appointment, and the girls would always laugh because they're like, you have no idea how many lashes you have. And truthfully, unless I'm wearing mascara, my lashes, your lashes are so thin and light that they're hard to see, but if you really get up close to like a magnified mirror, you can see that there are tiny, thousands, it almost looks like little lashes that they become hidden amongst all your dark, long lash extensions, but they're there. So if you have the concern like me, like you're gonna run out of lashes to put them on, you're constantly growing new lashes, so don't worry about that. One other thing I wanted to address was the use of a lash serum. You guys know I have always spoke very highly about New Lash. It is my favorite lash serum. I have noticed dramatic difference with using it versus not using it. The first time after I was done getting my lash extensions when they all fell off, I was using it to get my lashes to be long again. Not because my lashes were damaged, but when you're used to having long, voluminous, dark lashes and then you don't have the extensions anymore, you kind of feel naked. I mean, that's just normal because now your lashes are where they normally are. They're just light and they're sparse. Maybe they're a little bit shorter because you don't have something attached to them. So I was craving like that length again, and the New Lash, within 30 days, I'm not even exaggerating, my lashes were long and they were dark and they were full. Not to where they looked like lash extensions, but they felt good again, to where I was more comfortable. So the downside to using a lash serum while you have lash extensions, and this is also something that was brought to my attention very recently on Instagram, and I never really stopped to think about it, but your lash serums are making your lashes grow a little bit quickly, and when they're growing, they're gonna eventually fall out. So you almost don't wanna use a lash serum while you're doing lash extensions, because it's speeding up the pace of your lashes growing, and then in turn, if you have lash extensions, they're gonna like fall off, grow and fall off. So I stopped using New Lash while I have my extensions on. But I will say for a good amount of time I was using New Lash and I didn't notice it interfering with my lash extensions or interrupting the process at all. How I clean them, I'm gonna show you tonight when I take my makeup off. I did a little demo on Instagram, so maybe you caught it on my Instagram stories, but I actually purchased from the place that I get my lashes done this little lash bath set. It's the actual cleanser and then this really fluffy synthetic duo fiber brush. And this is what I use every night. It's by the brand Borboleta. I'm gonna put in the description box the salon that I go to and the phone number. You can actually call there if you wanna order this. They will ship this to you. What I do is I just get a tiny bit of this. It's kind of like a clear gel, and that's enough for both eyes. I get my brush wet, and then I just work a lather like I'm cleaning a brush, and just paint and scrub my lashes. And I make sure to really get in there at the base where the buildup can happen. And then I also go underneath, scrub, just get in there really good, clean. Then, once they're good and soapy, rinse the brush. I usually do this over the sink, so I'm just gonna have a towel here. And then I just paint with the water to get the soap off. And I just drag it across my lid so that the water drips down into the lash. And just what I did with the soap, I do with the water. Underneath. Take the towel and I just kind of press the lash against the towel. Then I do the other eye, which I'm gonna do off camera because you get the point. This is amazing. It feels really good. It's actually part of the nighttime routine that I really look forward to the most, is just cleaning them, because although I'm not wearing eye makeup and I'm not needing to remove any eye makeup, you know, powder from my face makeup, powder from my eyebrows, dead skin, and it can start to build up because you have so many lashes. And if you think about it, when you don't have lash extensions, you're constantly washing your face, rubbing your eyes. With lash extensions, you can't be rubbing your eyes like you normally would. You have to be a little bit more gentle. But if you don't cleanse your eyes and cleanse that area, you're gonna create buildup. Buildup equals bacteria. Bacteria equals infection. So just be wary and keep those lashes clean. Before this, I was just using baby shampoo. I was always afraid that you know, rubbing them with this was gonna make them all fall out, and it really doesn't. I think that really helps to keep my lashes on a lot longer. I really think it helps the retention of them. I never really stopped to think about it, but my lash girl said to me one day that your lashes are actually made to prevent things from going into your eye, which makes total sense, but I just never really stopped to wonder, like, what is the point of eyelashes? But truthfully, it'll stop like powder, debris, stuff from going in your eye. So if you're not washing that out, it's just gonna build up along your lash line and create bacteria, and it's just no bueno. So definitely cleanse your lashes. Even if you don't have this set, use a baby shampoo, anything without oil. Which brings me to my next point. If you're going to use a makeup remover, if you're gonna wear makeup, you wanna make sure that it is oil-free. Oil is going to break down the adhesive in the lash glue. And nothing with glycol. Glycol is something else that will break down. Let's see. This is a makeup eyeshadow primer that I've used in the past when I had eyelash extensions. This is by Mally, the shadow base, and it's free of glycol. So if you need a good eyelid primer for makeup, this is a really good one. I know a lot of girls that have lash extensions and that wear makeup every single day, and you easily could, but for me, I just don't feel the need, and it's less work. I don't have to worry about really getting all that eye makeup off and scrubbing. The other thing I use on my bottom lashes, because I do still wear mascara on my bottom lashes, is I use my Bioderma. Any kind of cleansing water that does not have oil is good too. Other thing is I get a spoolie with every appointment, and I just use this to comb through them. So at the end of me doing my makeup, I always comb through. I go down and then I go up, and I do this every morning and every night. So every morning after my makeup is on, just give them a good comb through, make sure there's nothing getting stuck. And then at nighttime, after I wash them and I let them dry, I give them another comb, and I just use this to kind of get in there and separate and kind of like fix them if any of them are really wonky. And that's it. So as far as maintenance throughout, and again, I'm saying I don't wear eye makeup, so the maintenance on them as far as keeping them clean and looking good is very, very low. They're very, very low maintenance for me, but I love having them. I don't ever want to be without them, but I know at some point I should probably give my eyes a break. That's the other thing I really like about my girl, is she would tell me like, hey, your eyelashes are looking a little brittle, or maybe we should give it a break. She always seems to think that my lashes are in really good shape. So a good lash tech, I think, will pay attention to your natural lashes. I think I covered everything. I'm trying to think of anything else I can touch on that's not going to be shared in the video clip that I'm going to put in here with Steph, but overall, I've had an amazing experience with them. I prefer the volume lashes over the classic lashes. I'm going to put the clip in now of me getting my eyelashes done with Steph, and disclaimer, I had my eyes closed. Obviously, you have your eyes closed during the appointment, so I couldn't see what I was doing. And my arm kept getting really tired, so I kept having to switch arms. So if the angle is not perfect or my hand is blocking the camera in some clips, I'm gonna try to splice it and edit it so it doesn't happen, but forgive me because I was doing it with my eyes closed and Steph was looking down, so she couldn't really see what I was doing. But I think for the most part, from what I saw, it looks pretty good.
Classic is one lash per lash. And those lashes sit on top of the natural lash. Volume actually wraps, since there's multiple lashes, so it's like here's your fan. It actually wraps itself around, and that's why the retention is so different.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. So that's why, and you've had both, which is great.
Yeah.
That you know the difference, and you know that volume just lasts.
They last so much longer.
As volume runs its course, it just gets less dense. It doesn't get rough, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know classics when you're nearing your fill and you're like,
You know
this
you're
looks
nearing
terrible.
your fill. Yeah.
Volume just loses its density. So it just kind of gets a little lighter as time passes, right? Which is...
But I don't ever notice gaps.
Exactly.
Like with classic, I would notice gaps in my lashes and it would drive me crazy. But with volume, yeah, density is a great way to describe it.
Yep, and you definitely have spaces where you don't have lashes, but since fans are coming out, they're kind of covering those spots, and they're not just, you know, one lash per space. It's really, even if the lash is off to the side, it's covering the space over here.
Yeah.
So just so many great things about it.
So much lighter too.
Yeah.
I never noticed having the classics. Like, I would have never described them as being heavy or feel like I had anything on my lashes, but I definitely notice, like, these are wispy. Even like last night, the corner of this one, you could see how long, like, my natural lash has grown, and it like did a curl.
Yep.
But it's so light, like hitting the top of my lid, that it doesn't bother me. Whereas I feel like if it was the width of the classic, it would annoy me.
Yeah, no, this is really great because it is such a thin lash. Even as it grows out, it doesn't look so crazy, you know? I've just been so impressed with volume, and that's why I've chosen to only do volume from now on.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even light volume looks better than full classic, you know? And then you're gonna get that staying power. It's a win for sure, always.
I don't know if you can see, can they see like what my lashes look like? Okay, good. Because this is 3 weeks, and I feel like I could have easily gone a whole other week without feeling like I need to get my lashes done. I feel naked.
No, it really is awesome. And then we'll fill them right back up, and you'll kind of just get to this point, instead of getting to that point where it's like, oh my gosh, like I need to fill so bad. I make the fans as we go, and that's A, why we take the time that we do, and then B, why they look as good as they do. So the only other people doing volume in this area right now are using pre-made fans. That's a huge difference. So you're gonna get kind of the look, but since that wrapping isn't happening because those fans are already clamped down when they're purchased, and it's kind of like this weird thing because they feel like people think that they can cut a corner. When you cut corners, it's never as good as if you just do the real thing, right?
Right.
I mean, I could literally go here, make a 2D, and then I'm like, oh no, she needs a 3D right here, and like, just make it right away.
Yeah.
That's been a huge point for me for falling in love with volume, has been that chance during the service to kind of really customize what's going on. Also with volume, it is, so people always say like, well, why do they stay longer if the only reason they fall out is because your lashes are growing? Well, because volume is so much lighter, it's not, that lash isn't falling out as easily.
So like weighing it down.
Yes, exactly. So not that classics are breaking them off, but since there's a heavier lash on there, it's kind of accelerating. Once it kind of gets to that second phase of growth, it's kind of accelerating it to where it falls off just because of the weight.
Yeah.
With volume, you're not getting that weight. You're getting these really light fans.
The number one question I get asked, that I'm sure you get asked, is are they damaging to your real lashes?
That is everyone's question. So if someone is using a bad adhesive, bad product, like lashes that aren't of high quality, they are damaging if not applied correctly. They can break your lashes. I've removed, a big thing is people putting on too long of a length. It's too heavy for the lash, and it can damage. If you're going to somebody that is reputable and you're really, I mean, you can ask them about who they use. Usually a reputable salon has a brand that they stand behind. But if it's done by somebody who actually cares about their work and cares about your lashes, you're good.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people repair their lashes by getting lash extensions. So what I mean by that is people who wear like you know, mascara every day, and they're like scrubbing it off and just really not being nice to their eyes. Getting extensions to where their lashes are just growing, and it's just the way that they're taking their natural course. They're actually able to really grow in their lashes, and I'm one of those people. My inner corners were destroyed from wearing strip lashes.
Yeah.
And since getting lash extensions, I haven't been wearing strip lashes, and my lashes are finally growing on my inner corners.
I had extensions since June of last year. I started doing classic, and I only just switched to volume. This like my fourth time. Yeah. And I haven't noticed any damage done to my lashes at all.
And I don't know, I usually with most people, I'm not sure if you can recall me saying it in our appointments, but I'll let you know how your natural lashes are doing. Like, oh, your natural lashes look great. And that's something I check on every appointment for everybody. Even if I don't vocalize it, I'm looking, because if it was starting to damage them, I would need to know why.
Right.
And I would make sure that we address that issue, and any good artist should be doing the same.
For a belly sleeper, I'm a back sleeper, so this has never come up, but can you have lashes if you're a belly sleeper?
You can. So I sleep on my face.
Oh, you do? And she has lash extensions.
Yes. My left eye, because I like it turned my head so I can breathe. But my left eye sheds much quicker because of it, and it's mainly at the corner. So you might run into those issues, but yeah, you can have them. And some people, it doesn't really affect them, and they are belly sleepers. You know, it's really how strong your lashes are. I'm kind of, it's interesting because I do this, but I'm the worst with lashes, because I'm like, I'm gonna sleep however, I'm gonna like, you know, do whatever, and I kind of just hope that they hang on.
Live your life.
Yeah. But for the most part, I feel like they're pretty livable, right? Like,
oh my gosh, yeah. For reference, I come every 3 weeks, and it's about a 2-hour appointment. When I was getting classic, I was in and out in like a half an hour, and I was coming every 2 weeks. Some people, you said, do come every week. I don't know if they go beyond that, but the classic lash appointments are much quicker.
Yes.
Than the volume.
I hope this video helped to answer any of your questions, calm any of your concerns, get you excited for lash extensions, or helps you determine whether they're for you or not. I'm gonna put my girl Stephanie's Instagram in the description box, and the salon that I go to. She also does microblading, and she's phenomenal. If you just look at her Instagram, you can see like all of her beautiful work. And I do want to have my brows microbladed. I just want to wait until I'm done breastfeeding, but she does microblading too, so I just want to mention that. But I will put all of that in the description box if you are local. If you're not local and you're somewhat local, I think it's definitely worth the trip, especially because you're only coming, you know, once a month, and she is so good. She just, you can tell that she really takes pride in her work, and she's a perfectionist, and she's very OCD when it comes to like the details and the fans, and she creates these fans by hand. They're not like pre-made lashes. So truthfully, every set of lashes and every fill of lashes is unique to you based on your lashes, the length, what you want, what she thinks looks good. And I just really trust her, and I can't say enough about her. And she's also the sweetest human ever. So if you guys need a good place or a good person, I will link her below. If you need anything else, leave them in the comments below. I will try to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I will get you an answer from her. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Like I said, it's one of the most frequently asked questions I get, and I hope that I was able to answer all of your questions. So you go see Steph. I would love to hear what you think, and I would love to hear how your lashes are. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.